And Scott Thomson, it's good to see you again. We had talked earlier after you led Camden through a complete rebuilding process. You had everybody disbanded, including yourself, and then rebuilt the police department in Camden from the ground up, and in fact brought down the violence levels. Tell us how you managed to do that.
Yeah, well, Andrea, in 2012 was arguably one of the darkest hours in the history of our city in terms of crime, poverty, the failures of the education system. Even the organization in which I came up in was one in which really had grown to be apathetic, lethargic. It was essentially an Augean stable. And the political decision was made to disband the police department and create a new one, create a county police force, one that would give us the ability to build culture as opposed to try to overcome the resistance of changing culture. And we really focused on three bedrock principles, and that was that every new member of this organization were going to be guardians and not warriors. We were going to engage in enhanced community empowerment, and that de-escalation was going to be ingrained into the culture of our organization. We wanted our officers to, and we've demanded our officers that they're going to identify more with being a member of the Peace Corps than being a Special Forces operator. And this was all really rooted in putting the mindset of what is the definition of insanity. And we would look at the same problems that just continually seem to be intractable, and we would go at it with the same approach, expecting a different result. Well, instead of trying to arrest our way and use might and force to make extremely destabilized neighborhoods lower in crime, we just took a completely different approach. And that was, we told the cops, stop locking people up, stop writing tickets, be a guardian, occupy public space, be a facilitator, a convener, a person that can coalesce, that can help heal a community, and that if we can remain there with a sense of presence as opposed to just trying to institutionalize everyone in there, that we can move the needle. And the result in that was that we've reduced murders by nearly 70%. It's been sustainable for the last 7 years. It continues on a downward trajectory of 50-year lows in crime. And we've been able to build relationships with the community wherein there was very high levels of disdain and mistrust to one in which we're coexisting, building a relationship more and more each and every day, and making our community better, safer, not just for the residents, but for the officers as well. So it was a complete paradigm shift.
And do you think that the branding of defund the police is too hot politically to make it viable on Capitol Hill? It doesn't adequately explain what you did in Camden, which was basically to take the department apart and rebuild it completely.
You know, Andrea, I think one of the challenges right now is I've heard several definitions for defund, and I think we really need to land on one so we can have a meaningful conversation about what to do. Do I think getting rid of police altogether is a viable option? No, I do not. Do I think that putting more resources to root cause issues can get you better results? Yeah, I do. I saw that in the city. I saw police performing in functions that probably police traditionally would not, but no one else was coming in and doing it. And as long as we did that, things were getting better. So I think most progressive police chiefs in this country would concur with me that I would have traded 10 cops for another progressive and productive Boys and Girls Club within my neighborhood, because I saw the issues that they were addressing and fixing. They were fixing the things that were leading to the symptom of crime of which we were continually interfacing with. So it's time to go upstream and start to address some of the real issues in a meaningful way, and we'll have far less on the back end of things. And lastly, I'll just also say, Andrea, is that so long as we keep asking police officers to interface on a regular basis and expect them to remedy issues such as mental illness, homelessness, and addiction, we're going to continue to see a movie that ends in a way that just nobody likes the way it is.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.